Today, we are discussing rollovers for business startups, or ROBS. In short, ROBS will teach you how to use your retirement funds, tax-deferred, penalty, and debt-free. This innovative resource has become the fastest growing form of funding to help someone start, acquire, or grow a business. Two ROBS experts have created a series of comprehensive educational videos to help you become an educated and successful entrepreneur. The first, Larry Carnell, is the National Award-winning Entrepreneur of the Year, business and franchise expert, and Vice President of Benetrends Financial, the company that discovered this legal pathway in 1983. Carnell is recognized as one of the country's foremost ROBS experts and is credited with helping introduce this creative funding, wealth-building protection program. Joining Carnell is CPA Gary Bodie. Bodie holds a master's degree in accountancy and is considered a leading national expert on ROBS structures. He is also a business lecturer and contributing author on ROBS and C Corporation structures, which can help maximize your exit strategy benefits while minimizing your taxes. In addition, Bodie runs his own practice where he advises and works with entrepreneurs with ROBS-structured businesses across the United States. Please provide us with some background on the ROBS program and how it works.
Thank you. I'd be happy to answer that question. The actual legal pathway to start this program was discovered 35 years ago. Most people have never heard of this program, but it's actually been around since the early 1980s. Lynn Fisher, the founder of Benetrends Financial, is actually the ERISA attorney that discovered the legal pathway to do this many years ago. Benetrends Financial is a full-service retirement plan design firm and provides all kinds of funding in addition to being able to use retirement funds, tax, penalty, debt-free, or tax-deferred, penalty, and debt-free to start a business or acquire or grow a business. In the 1990s, myself and Lynn Fisher helped to introduce this to the franchise community, and it's now become one of the fastest growing forms of funding in the country. The big question is, what is this program, what is it not? Well, this is not a loan program, it's an investment program. Instead of investing in the volatility of the stock market, people elect to invest in the stock of their own company. To do so, there are several steps that have to be taken. The first is you have to structure this through a C corporation. Once the corporation is established, a company retirement plan is then created and adopted by the C corporation. Now, there are many types of company retirement plans. People are most familiar with simple 401ks or IRAs, but there's SEPs, defined contribution, profit sharing, defined benefit plans, annuities, many types of retirement plans. Each one has certain features and benefits. A custom design firm can customize a program to allow you access to the retirement funds, but more importantly, avoid some of the common consequences or concerns associated with this. Now, a big question comes into play: what qualifies and what doesn't qualify? There are many types of retirement plans. All of them tend to qualify, or most of them do. Traditional IRAs qualify, 401ks, 403bs, 457s, annuity plans, employee stock ownership plans, often referred to as ESOPs, as well as TSPs and other types of plans. But Gary, you may be able to talk about specifically the types of plans that don't qualify.
Sure, those plans include Roth IRAs, they include inherited annuity or investment funds from somebody other than a spouse, and some of the annuities that are out there have charges on them if you take them out early, so you really want to include that in your cash flow.
Yeah, oftentimes brokers are very open. Financial brokers are promoting the use of annuities, but often an annuity will have a 10-year maturity, and if you take the retirement funds out, you may get hit typically about 1% for every year you're taking out early. With that being said, let's talk a little bit about the costs. Costs typically are about $5,000 to set these programs up, and they should include all your incorporation costs, including filing fees, minutes, bylaws, the issuance and management of the stock transaction, and most importantly, a federally mandated independent third-party stock evaluation in accordance with federal regulations. One should also investigate the true net cost. It's not what you pay, it's what the net cost should be. as well as other specific short and long-term benefits or resources that may be available to the candidate. There are often ongoing administration services by third-party administrators. Most people in the past may have had a 401k, and the employer would hire a third-party administrator to maintain operational compliance, provide consulting services and other resources as part of that administration. Typically those costs are usually less than $150 a month. Following a nationwide IRS alert memorandum in 2008, it's important to use a reputable provider who has a comprehensive guarantee beyond just simple audit protection, but specifically do they have a guarantee that specifically protects you against potential fines, penalties, and interest charges. Gary, you know, a lot of questions I get is, when is the most appropriate time to start this process?
I usually say about 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks, depending on the state that they're in. That way they don't tie up their funds if they find something else, because obviously any company is going to keep the retainer if they stop at a certain point.
Yeah, and I've learned that a lot of people are burning through their savings, and if you have the funds available, and once you make the decision, you have the right business, you're not waiting a month to get access to those funds, which can conserve your savings, which is critical to help you be successful in business.
I have that happen all the time, where people have an offer in place and are waiting for the financing.
And sometimes the rug gets pulled out from under them. That's something I'm noticing more frequently, because there's a rise in people getting unemployed and a lot of people looking. If you come to the conclusion it's a good business opportunity, a lot of people are coming to the same conclusion. So the key thing is make sure you're prepared. You don't want to spend several months trying to find the right business, burning through thousands of dollars per month in living expenses, and then have the rug pulled out from you and have to start that process all over again. You know, a good question that's often asked is, what do you think an ideal candidate for this type of program would be?
I actually screen pretty carefully for that on you know, the initial consult, and somebody has to be able to keep squeaky clean set of C corporation financial data, and some people just can't do that. And the other criteria is that somebody's able to follow very arbitrarily or seemingly arbitrary rules. And if they can't do that, then I don't recommend ROBS to them.
And that's another thing is, if you're not really adept at doing that, you need to hire professionals, people experienced like yourself, and people that can administer the plan and help you navigate that process. That's one of the growing concerns following the nationwide IRS alert warning. One of the big concerns was not just setting the program up, but most importantly, ongoing operational compliance. With that being said, our next video will be ROBS 2, the pros and cons of using ROBS. Thank you for attending this presentation.